How do you feel about the recent news that has come out about Governor Cuomo?
I believe every word of it. I think the guy's an arrogant guy. He's a bum. I have no use for him.
What do you think should be done following the sexual harassment claims?
He should resign.
Do you feel that there is truth behind the reports that Governor Cuomo covered up a large number of COVID-related deaths in nursing homes?
Yes, I do, and it's a real shame. It's a real shame that he killed so many people, and he's getting away with murder.
That's crazy. When somebody's trying to do good, in New York, somebody always trying to come out under the rug with something, that, it messes up your, everything you work for,
What do you think?
It's kind of messed up.
What do you think should be done following the sexual harassment claims?
I think they should get in depth, before they start, giving all these allegations. They should have proof. People just, trying to mess up their reputation,
Do you feel there's any truth behind the reports that Governor Cuomo covered up a large number of COVID-related deaths in nursing homes?
That I don't know.
Tito, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How do you feel about the recent news that has come out about Governor Cuomo?
I don't feel like this is just like the nail in the coffin. The new news of the sexual harassment thing. I feel like it's the nail in the coffin because they were already trying to get him for the old age homes and lying about how many people had died during COVID during the old age homes. So you're just trying to find other things to nail down, to just talk about, for trash to just compile upon itself, and then people be like, oh, see, that's why he's out of office. I mean, that's just my opinion. It's an outside opinion. I just feel like when you're looking at Cuomo, like I don't know, for some reason, everybody's loved the guy for a hot minute, and now everybody's like, yo, we hate him because he's doing this and he's doing that. I saw the picture of the sexual harassment thing, and I didn't think, if it was, alright, if a woman were to go up and hug a guy in that same type of way, is the guy going to be like, the guy's offended? You know what I'm saying? Like, is the guy going to catch offense to the fact that he was, like, hugged, like, right under here? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like it's like a personal attack, and I think it was intentional, and this woman knew what she was doing when she went to, how do you say it, like, she went to get involved with him in some kind of manner, right? And the hug happened, and however it looks can be deceiving. You know what I'm saying? So if his hand was here, they could have said, oh, well, she turned this way and that's why his hand went and bumped up against this. I mean, like, why does it take people 10 years to come out with charges on people? Like, you knew this guy had problems. Now all these political people have problems with whether it's a touchy-feely thing. I think people are going out looking for lawsuits against people that are in power, so then they can put them on blast and they can get that money the way that they wanted to. And then the political guy goes, hold on a second, I didn't even do anything. I didn't even do nothing. I didn't even do a thing. This woman knew that there was already something going on with me. She intentionally did it so that I would look bad again. And people are putting themselves in that predicament so that, I don't have anything. So if I don't have anything and I know you got something, I can make something happen to where now I have everything.
What do you think should be done following the sexual harassment claims?
I mean, I look at it like this. It's a claim. It doesn't mean that it actually happened. It's in her perception that it's even a sexual harassment thing. Look, crazy not stupid. People go out looking for people in power. They don't have anything, so then they jump on the power trip. How can I get money from this guy? And boom, the lawsuits follow. And that's what I feel like. It's like, you abuse someone's powers. Like I saw this thing on the newspaper, and it says he's going to be stripped from all his political powers. You're the people are the ones that gave him the power, right?
Right.
So you want to strip him from all these political powers? It's just funny. He really doesn't have any power.
Yeah.
He has an opinion of what he thinks should be done with the state and the government, and then people say, I think he's right, and that's why I want that guy in power.
So do you feel that there's truth behind the reports that Cuomo covered up a large number of COVID-related deaths in nursing homes?
Okay, this is what I was saying.
Yeah.
If he was involved in covering up deaths in nursing homes, who could blame him? Who could blame him? Like, he doesn't know the actual numbers, and then the people in the nursing homes are lying about the numbers, so all the numbers are lied. I think where we're not focusing hard enough is on the Postmaster General in DC, is where I think people are like, oh, he went in front of Congress 4 times. He went in front of Congress 4 times. He was told to stop 4 times. Stop doing what he's doing. He's still doing it. Whether people think just because Trump's out of office or not, the Postmaster General was never he was never a postman. He never worked in a post office. He went from the Department of Logistics, which is warehousing, by the way, from a warehouse to the Postmaster General. Right? So power is what we're talking about. If I know you and you're in power and I can somehow bush elbows with you so then you can put me in power, then I'll be in power and I'll know my position. I know where I stand, so to speak. It just seems funny to me because the large amount of people that don't want the people in power and then want the people in power are the same ways that these people get elected. So in turn, people give them the power, then you want to strip them of his power because you think there's a chance, there's a pre-assuming assumption going on that something happened that was negative. Now, it seems as such that it's negative only because the context of the story. He's being looked at for sexual harassment, right? Did he go out and harass this woman? I doubt it. Did he go and give her a hug and his hand looked like it was in a place it wasn't supposed to be? Sure, anything can look crazy on camera. You know what I'm saying? So she knows, the woman knows that he has power, which brings financial background, which brings a certain type of resistance and a forward walk to say he's got money, so pay up and know you did wrong. Is he going to go to jail for it? I think everyone's going, well, strip him of his powers. Is that what you get for sexual harassment? Or do you go to jail for sexual harassment and then you get stripped of your powers? You know what I'm saying is like there's steps that have to be taken, and I just feel like people just wanted to see people just down. Fire them, get them out of the office. Well, there's a process, a legal process to that. You have to prove that he did it. It's crazy because the newspaper comes out and it makes up news before something happens, and it's presumed that you're guilty. And then the news and the media already made you look guilty beforehand, before you even had a chance to even say something about yourself and say, listen, I'm not a bad guy, I've paid my taxes, I do the right thing, I don't go out harming people or looking for problems every day. I look for my own peace of mind, and I don't mind people anymore. That's the way I think it should be looked at, but of course it's going to get all this hype and blown up and, oh my God, he did this. Well, why didn't we hear about that for the past 20 years that he's been in office? Now all the things are rolling because, I could get him on the death thing with the old age people. Let's get him for sexual harassment, and we'll lump him in with all these other people that are doing all this crazy, wild stuff. I just feels like they did it to themselves, not the political people doing it to them. There's people that are looking to get these people into trouble for something that they don't do. It shouldn't even buy airtime, really, because it's like there's no space and time that would like give this guy. Now Cuomo's got to live with quote unquote maybe done it. It's not fair to the guy. You either did it or you didn't do it, and leave it at that. You know, it's a shame because I want to say I hope that he didn't do it, you know, and he didn't go out looking for it, so to speak. If he did, he deserves what he gets. But again, all these people, it's taking, like Bill Cosby, Jesus Christ, there's 40 years.
Right.
You wait 40 years, and now there's a tribunal of 27 women that are saying, well, you raped me too. Well, why did it take you 40 years? Oh, I was ashamed of myself. Right. But if it was a guy, right, that had been raped by 40 women, right, the guy should be ashamed of himself. You see what I'm trying to say is like, the guy is going to get the thumbs up, and the woman's going to be like, oh, we feel so sorry for all these 27 women. I don't feel sorry for him. You let it happen. Whether he roofied you or not, you were there. So you were partaking. It takes two to tango. It takes partaking but you flip the script on the guy because maybe he's sexually harassed and assaulted or slept with or whatever 5 of the women, but to you he didn't do that. He was nice to you. Do you think he's just going to be nice to you and not to the others? Come on. It just doesn't. Some of the stories that the news predicts and comes out with, it just does not make sense. You know, it doesn't add up at the end of the day.
Look, this is how I feel about it. Every time somebody black or Taino gets in office and starts trying to do good, there's always somebody out there trying to throw them under the bus. And it's terrible that it happens like that, but most of the time it's going to be your own people. So while you're inside of positions like that, you got to watch your back at all times, because there's people who have money and power just like you who will be glad to sacrifice you. So CUOMO, I wouldn't necessarily say that he's a bad person, but I would say that he didn't actually protect himself the way that he was supposed to protect himself. Because everybody from the city to the state and the government is always looking for somebody to throw the blame on. When Obama was in office, he was the first black president, they tried to throw shame on him. When Clinton was in office, he was the president helping black and Tainos out, they tried to throw the same shame on him. Okay? So people gotta remember, man, people in high places, they have their own little wars within the system. Now, the civilian population know nothing about these setups. But most people who know about setups know about setups. I remember when I was in charge of the headquarters in Harlem. We was doing good for the people, organizing gang members, teaching them how not to sell drugs and taking their money and open up legitimate businesses. So I had people who tried to set me up as well, just because I was on the right track. People got to realize that when you work in the system, you have people who will come and make you deals and try to throw money under the table. I think that's what happened to CUOMO. I think he didn't do what he said he was going to do for somebody because he didn't feel that it was right. So here comes the setup. Why would that man wait until this time to pull such publicity stuff? You got to remember, this circle is vicious.
What do you think should be done following the sexual harassment claims?
Well, you know what I think should be done? Okay, listen. I walk the streets every day from Brooklyn to Harlem to the Bronx, right? Now, when you say sexual harassment, does that mean that he seen a woman who was attractive and said something to her? I mean, what did he say? You gotta understand, people walk down the street and see beautiful women every day and say, hey, man, you look sexy, you look good, you look pretty. Is that sexual harassment? What do they mean, sexual harassment? You gotta understand that, man. Until you really know the truth, I don't suggest that you believe what you hear. You have to do your own homework in this situation. And people are not doing their own homework. They're just throwing the character assassination against that man. And I think before people start passing judgment, they need to start doing their homework. Because people will do anything to set you up if they don't like you. And that's what people gotta understand. Now, I'm not saying he did it or didn't, but I do know that he's making certain moves that other people in high places don't like. So the setups can come from anywhere.
Do you feel that there is truth behind the reports that Cuomo covered up a large number of COVID-related deaths in nursing homes?
No, sir. No, sir. That's highly impossible. And anybody who believes something like that must be highly stupid. He's not responsible for the coronavirus. He's not responsible for none of that. He did the best that he could for the shape that he was in. So he couldn't just cover everything. I mean, what about the other people that were supposed to be helping the movement? I mean, you got to think like that. How could he actually be responsible for that? Did he bring the coronavirus here? I mean, there's a lot of people that can be held responsible, starting right here with the government. Because if you're going to hold him responsible for something like that, then you should hold the government responsible, because China is the biggest import and export country to America. And they imported and exported that coronavirus over here. So now, this man is going to get the blame for that? Come on, people got to use common sense out here, man. You can't blame that man for nursing homes. He didn't bring that over here. So before the coronavirus, he's in charge of making sure all the nursing homes is fucked up? No, that doesn't make sense, man. When you think about it, how could he be in control? He doesn't. The money, the funding comes from the city, state, and the government. The funding doesn't come from him. If the city, state, and the government don't get that funding out there quick enough, how can you hold him responsible for something like that? It doesn't make sense. Now, he probably made some bad turns. Everybody made some bad turns in life. But you got to realize that when you in high places like that, you can't even step wrong. And for anybody to say, oh, he's supposed to be CUOMO, he's supposed to be 100% righteous, you're lying. There's nobody out here that's 100% righteous. There are people who strive to be righteous. That man couldn't cover the whole thing. When Obama was president, what did they do to him? They tried to throw him under the bus. When Kennedy was president, and Kennedy tried to do the right thing, not only did they try to throw him under the bus, he was one of the first presidents to get assassinated for trying to do the right thing for black and Latinos and whites. So people gotta wake up, man, and smell the coffee, man. Y'all playing around too much out here, man. This guerrilla warfare speaking to you, man.